Donald Trump just had one of the strangest New Year's meltdowns ever seen from a sitting president, and what's emerging from behind the scenes is even more disturbing. On New Year's Day, while most leaders were posting hopeful messages or spending time with family, Trump was having a complete breakdown on social media. He posted bizarre attacks on actor George Clooney and his wife Amal, telling his political enemies to rot in hell, including the governor of Colorado. He shared photos claiming windmills were killing bald eagles, but the images were actually from Israel in 2017 and showed falcons, not eagles. Then Trump made a surprising announcement. He said he's removing the National Guard from Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland. He claimed these cities would have been destroyed without federal intervention, and that crime had dropped dramatically because of his actions. He warned that crime would soar again once the troops left, questioning why Democratic mayors and governors would want them to leave. The whole message read like someone deeply struggling with reality. But the New Year's drama is just the surface. Something much bigger is unfolding with the Jeffrey Epstein case. The Department of Justice recently admitted it has around 5 million documents related to Epstein that haven't been released yet. Previously, people thought there were only about 1.2 million documents. This means less than 5% of the Epstein files have actually been made public. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee are now asking serious questions. Why is so little information being released? What is being hidden? One particularly disturbing revelation involves Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. According to the Wall Street Journal, throughout the 1990s and into the 2000s, spa employees from Mar-a-Lago were being sent to Epstein's home for what were called house calls. Epstein wasn't even a member of Mar-a-Lago, but Trump reportedly told staff to treat him like one. The Wall Street Journal reported that these spa workers and masseuses faced sexually suggestive conduct from Epstein. There was a known reputation that he would sexually harass and assault them. In 2003, Epstein was eventually banned from the Mar-a-Lago spa, but not from the property itself. This happened after the father of an 18-year-old girl threatened legal action. But by that point, the damage had been done. The pattern of sending young women from Mar-a-Lago to Epstein's home had been going on for years. Meanwhile, Trump's approval ratings have collapsed. In January 2025, when he started his term, Trump's approval rating was 6 points positive. By December, he was 12 points underwater. That's an 18-point drop in just 1 year. The decline has been especially dramatic among independent voters, who now disapprove of Trump by a massive 43 points. The issues driving this collapse are the very ones Trump campaigned on. On the economy, Trump started the year 9 points positive, but ended December 16 points negative. On immigration, his signature issue since 2015, he went from 9 points positive to 6 points negative. There's also the Jack Smith situation. The former special counsel who investigated Trump gave an 8-hour deposition that has now been released. Before testifying, Smith received an email from Attorney General Pam Bondi telling him he couldn't discuss the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case. A Trump-appointed judge, Judge Cannon, has kept that part of Smith's report sealed. The Department of Justice used this as justification to prevent Smith from talking about the overwhelming evidence he collected. They told Smith they would prosecute him if he revealed certain information, but they wouldn't even send a lawyer to monitor his testimony. It's a clear attempt to keep the truth buried while allowing Trump's supporters to attack Smith without any ability to defend himself with facts. A bizarre diplomatic moment also emerged from Trump's recent meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky. After Trump had rolled out the red carpet for Russian President Putin in a widely criticized display, Zelensky visited the Oval Office. Instead of discussing serious war matters, Trump kept talking about how beautiful Ukrainian women are. He mentioned his friend Phil Ruffin, who married Miss Ukraine 2004, and even put Zelensky on speakerphone with her. Zelensky, recognizing Trump's inappropriate behavior, brilliantly turned the conversation around. He asked the former Miss Ukraine if her parents still lived in Ukraine. When she said yes in Odessa and that they refused to leave despite the war because Ukraine was their homeland, it became a powerful moment. Zelensky used Trump's own creepiness to make a point about Ukrainian courage and resistance. All of these stories paint a picture of an increasingly erratic president facing mounting legal questions, collapsing public support, and bizarre behavior that keeps getting worse. The Epstein documents alone represent one of the biggest potential cover-ups in recent American history. With 95% of the files still hidden, the questions keep growing. What do those millions of documents contain? Why is the Trump administration working so hard to keep them secret? And what really happened at Mar-a-Lago during all those years when young women were being sent to Jeffrey Epstein's home? As 2026 begins, these questions aren't going away. If anything, they're only getting louder.